Wild animals are usually considered dangerous as they could be amazingly unpredictable if they feel threatened. Miraculously, many times animals stepped in to save human lives. Today, however, we're focusing on all the good they can do with a breakdown of 10 wild animals that saved human lives. 10 heartwarming stories of animals stepping in to help save humans. Wild animals are amazing to admire. But most of them keep us, humans, at a distance for obvious reasons. I mean, who wants to get bitten by a rattlesnake or attacked by a giant bear? Sometimes, however, wild animals behave in ways that we cannot understand and have given us pleasant surprises as they've come to the rescue of fellow humans. Not all wild animals are threatened by humans, but most do, and we kind of deserve it. We have interrupted their world by destroying forests, disturbing food chain, and invading their space, and so many more reasons. You have to have that trusting relationship. But some of them just want to survive and thrive as they do. Biodiversity has declined by 85% due to human interventions. Life in wilderness is very hard. Still, wild animals are capable of compassion and kindness towards humans. We have selected beautiful stories from 2 lions that took an immediate liking to a young girl to a sea lion that wanted to give a suicidal man one more chance. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can keep up to date with all of our latest and most exciting content. Number 1. Pride of Lion saved a girl. When a 12-year-old Ethiopian girl was abducted by 4 men while walking home from school, her attackers decided to take her where they thought was totally out of sight. They held her for a week and were intent on marrying her to one of the men in the group. They also beat and assaulted her viciously, showing no signs of remorse. They were forced to let the girl go, however, when a pride of lions showed up out of the blue, and these abductors happened to come face to face with 3 African lions. They promptly chased the men off. They then circled the girl, protecting her from any further harm for a full day and a half, before the police finally found her bruised but thankfully still alive. The lions let the girl limp over to the police without bothering her at all, and simply walked away when they saw that she was safe. Kidnappers were chased down by police a week later, and a girl was brought to justice. What an act of kindness. Number 2. Sea lions prevent suicide at the Golden Gate. The bridge has a long history of people trying to commit suicide by jumping off of it, and most of the people who take the plunge don't survive once they hit the water. This is a heartwarming and uplifting story about the power of nature. Kevin Hines, a troubled 19-year-old, suffering from bipolar disorder and depression, he would have lost his life for sure when he jumped from the bridge in September of 2006. But a surprise visitor wasn't going to let that happen. On their watch when Kevin hit the water, a nearby sea lion didn't want him to die and kept pushing him up above the water surface until the Coast Guard eventually arrived to collect him. He immediately broke his back and shattered his vertebrae into countless pieces. With the force of the impact, that being so, he wasn't able to do much but wait to drown while in excruciating pain. He had just begun to sink below the surface when he felt something brush against his legs, and before he knew what was happening, he was pushed back to the surface by a sea lion who refused to let his head go under. And kept this up until authorities were able to reach him and pull him out of the water, allowing his savior to swim off with the satisfaction of a job well done. Kevin began a program designed to help people deal with depression, and had since used his story and experiences to inspire others. Number 3. Beaver saved the freezing kit. Canada can be pretty cold, and a young boy in Ontario became very aware of this on the day when his parents died in front of him during a camping trip. His parents went out fishing on the lake, but after a short period he watched in horror as the boat capsized, trapping them underneath as it slowly sank to the bottom. They weren't able to make it back to shore and drowned right in front of him. He never expected that he'd finish the trip in a fight for his life, with an unexpected new friend to help him find the will to survive. The poor boy, being far from civilization, was desperate to get help. But all of his efforts were pointless once the sun went down. Not knowing what else to do, the boy tore back towards town as fast as he could to get the help. He didn't make it all that far before the sunset, and darkness fell. It became too cold for the child, who was already exhausted from running at top speed for so long. As he became too cold to move, he was going to die. He felt something press up against him. He had no idea what it was, and lost consciousness. Before he could check, awakening in the morning, to find that a group of beavers had encircled him entirely, while he slept, keeping him alive while the temperature dropped well below freezing. Beavers were saviors. Number 4. Elephant protects the child. An 8-year-old girl found herself in dire situation when she was caught unaware by the 2004 tsunami in Thailand. She had no way of escaping the sudden torrent of water, and was almost swept away, never to be seen again, when an elephant running past her managed to stop just long enough to pick her up with its trunk and deposit her on its back. It then ran to the higher ground, keeping her away from the violent rush of water, and making sure she didn't fall off at any point. When it was hit with a large wave, it even turned to brace her from being hit. Epically saving her life, the elephant was able to make it to safety, with the girl still placed on its back. And her parents were overjoyed when they saw the pair running towards them. Talk about a close call. Number 5. Dolphins fight off shark. Everyone loves dolphins. They're enchanting creatures. They're fun, smart, emotionally intelligent, and they're particularly friendly to humans. A surfer in Monterey, California, was left fighting hopelessly for his life when a massive great white shark emerged from the depths and of nowhere attacked him with absolutely no remorse. It had swum around him again and again to bite him 3 times, and had already sliced him to the bone on his leg and back. He would have been a goner if it wasn't for a chance encounter with a pod of dolphins that recognized the fact that he was in distress and in need of serious help. The dolphins surrounded the man, while simultaneously fighting off the shark, pushing the surfer back to shore. Slowly but surely, they took off when the man was safely back on shore, and he was immediately rushed to the hospital, barely getting out of his ordeal alive. Dolphins truly are human friends. Don't you agree? Number 6. Dolphins save fishermen. Dolphins share a very special bond with humans. They seem to have a soft spot for humans, and they've saved plenty of people in the past. Not many people know, but dolphins have the longest social memory ever recorded for a non-human species. So, yes, if you meet a dolphin, he will remember you for years to come. What an interesting fact. Another person who was saved by a soft-hearted group of dolphins. He found himself in serious trouble when he went out fishing for the day in Puerto Rico. He had gone offshore to fish for tuna, but a surprise squall capsized the guy's boat and left him struggling to survive by clinging to a piece of styrofoam. It was the only thing that didn't sink around him. He held on all day, but was near the end of his rope by the time of the sun set, and he was sure he wasn't going to make it back to shore. He couldn't move the styrofoam at all on his own, and he was being swept out to sea when a large pod of dolphins appeared just in time. They pushed him all the way to shore and dropped him off at a beach barely alive. He is very thankful that he had a group of new friends who saved his life. Number 7. Brave seal battles shark. Seals are trainable, intelligent, and friendly to humans. Seals are usually food for sharks, and ordinarily stand no chance against the fierce predators at the top of the oceanic food chain. There's at least one seal, however, who decided enough was enough and took the fight straight to the shark, winning above all odds. This all went down off the coast of Cape Town, when a tourist was attacked by a shark, ending up unable to help himself after his leg was torn into pieces. There were 2 people watching from shore. They had begun to swim out to rescue him. They decided they will not sit idly while he was attacked. They came to water. They were all in trouble until a seal appeared out of nowhere and began circling the 3 men. She was fending off the shark each time it tried to attack one of them. Seal stuck around, until the shark finally left the area, and allowing the rescuers to reach the attack victim and get him back to shore. Number 8. Friendly bear beats down a mountain lion. A Northern California man, Robert Biggs, 69, set out Monday morning for one of his usual hiking and gold panning trips near Whiskey Flats. He came across a mother bear, yearling, and cub sitting on a stream bank. Biggs stopped to watch the bears for a few moments, but, as he turned to leave, something jumped on his back and knocked him to his knees. His backpack raised up over his head, and a mountain lion latched onto it. He hit the lion on the head with a rock pick he was carrying when he saw the bear grab the lion by the neck. The two animals struggled on the ground for a few seconds before the lion got free and ran away. Biggs thought the lion was stalking the bear's cubs, and he got in the way. After the cat was forced to limp back into the woods, the bear knew her job is done. Then, she calmly walked back to her cubs and wandered away, content that the hiker was safe from any further harm. Number 9. Sea turtle, sea angel. When a 62-year-old woman found herself in the water and struggling to stay afloat after her boat had suddenly flipped over, she was left stranded at sea with no land in sight. A sea turtle surfaced close to her without wasting any time. The woman swam over, and the turtle allowed her to climb on its back and swimming her closer to land. And that's where the Philippine Navy found her and pulled her to safety. Their official records show that the turtle had carried her for 2 days, refusing to dive or eat during that entire time, and even allowed the boat to approach so that she could be hoisted up without drowning. The crew, who rescued her, had been sure she was floating on an oil drum until said drum began swimming around their boat 3 times before diving below the waves. Sea turtle proved to be an angel for the old woman. Number 10. Dolphins rescue woman. A woman who was sailing on the Indian Ocean had a stroke of bad luck when her boat exploded and immediately sank, leaving her with no hope of survival. She definitely would have died, except for the fact that a pod of dolphins found her struggling to remain above water and decided to help her out. One of the 3 dolphins swam underneath her so that she could hold on to its body as it raced her to safety, while the other 2 circled her and fended off shark attacks. The dolphins took her over 200 miles during their trip until they finally found a marking to a shipping lane that she could cling to. They remained close until a ship finally passed by and she was able to wave it down for a rescue. What an act of kindness. Thanks for watching.